professor emeritus at UNB, and I used to run what's called the Diploma in University Teaching, and one of the things we do in that diploma is get people to write a teaching portfolio. So I'm just going to talk a bit about it right now, and then I'm going to get you to do some work. Those of you who came without paper to write on are going to have to write on the backs of the handouts, except they're double-paged. Never mind, we'll find paper. Okay, a teaching portfolio is has basically two purposes. One is that it's very good document to include when you're applying for a position in a university. Every university requires that professors, faculty members do teaching, research, and service to the community, service to the university. So the teaching portfolio can be part of whatever your submission is with your letter applying for a job. The other thing you can do with this teaching portfolio when you've got it finished is condense it and put it into your academic CV. Everybody got an academic CV? If you don't have one, I'll help you figure out how to get one. So I'm just going to talk a bit about what are the general things that go into your teaching portfolio, and I point out to you that it is always a work in progress. It's never finished. It should be reviewed and revised every year. Okay, so it's always a work in progress. It's never complete. If you've never written one, the first one is the hardest. After that, they get much easier because all you're doing is revising the existing one. But the trick to doing a portfolio is to find all the pieces of paper that will go into it and all the information that you want to put into it. So, there, what goes into it? The main elements that go into it are a statement of your teaching philosophy. That's a statement about why you teach, what your beliefs are about teaching and learning, how you think students should be treated. The second major component would be evaluations of your teaching. Any of you have ever taught in a university? Your university will have, at the end of the course, have the students complete a student opinion survey. And so you can include the summary, the statistical summary of that survey, and it must be covered by your reflective comments on the evaluations. Another component that's essential is an example of a course syllabus. For those of you who are new to teaching, you may not have any. I recommend that you think of a course that you'd like to teach, develop a syllabus for it, and include that in your teaching dossier or your teaching portfolio. Another thing you could include would be learning materials or teaching resources, and these would be things that you have developed, case study, lab activities, things of that nature that students would use to carry out their learning. Another component are publishing teaching-related articles. You may not know it, but your discipline has a journal of teaching that is associated with it. A journal of science teaching, a journal of physics teaching, something like that. Getting something published in one of those journals is a very good component for your teaching portfolio. You can include a copy of the article as part of the teaching, as part of the portfolio. And the last important component to this is your teaching goals, and these are statements about what you want to accomplish in your teaching in the next 5 years. How many of you have no experience at all teaching in university? Okay. You need to be innovative. Dream up ways in which your teaching goals, what you think you will do in the next 5 years. Okay, so those are the 5 things that go into it. Okay, so a statement of your teaching philosophy is basically a snapshot of your teaching experience, or it could be a statement of your pedagogical approach to teaching, and how you think teaching is supposed to go ahead. The purpose or goals of your teaching, a description of your favorite teaching strategies, any reflections that you might have on your own teaching, any products that you have of good teaching, and future development plans. Okay. Evaluations of your teaching, as I said, I think every university at the end of every course asks students to complete a survey on the quality of the learning and teaching in a course they've just completed. As a faculty member, what I would get back is a statistical summary of that. How many people answered, what the mean answer was for each question on the survey. And you can include those, but shouldn't just include them without a covering note which says, this is what I think the teaching opinion surveys say, and here's how I've dealt with the problems that are described in it. I typically get students' opinion survey results back which say that I didn't give enough feedback to students on assignments. Well, that's right. I don't, because I quite often leave the assignments to the very end, and therefore they don't get the feedback while they're writing the survey. But it bothered me when I first read that, and I had to stop and think about why I was doing that and how I could improve on it. What other ways could I give students better feedback? Second thing you can do to evaluate your teaching is to develop your own survey. And you can include the results of your own survey in the portfolio as long as you provide a copy of the survey and a reflective comment on the results, and as long as you include all the positive statements and all the negative statements. You can't pick and choose which comments you're going to include. That's cheating. You can get feedback from your peers. These would be letters that somebody writes for you because they've seen you teaching or they've been participating in your classes in some way, and they might be prepared to write you a supporting letter, preferably on a letterhead, and it can be included in a teaching portfolio. Sometimes you will get written testimonials from students, and I emphasize that written testimonials are the essential part of it. You can't include word-of-mouth comments. Emails work if you keep copies of them. Notes that people might give you at the end of class about whether they enjoyed your class or not. Again, just you're a good teacher, you're a wonderful teacher, you changed my life, doesn't do it. You have to be. The person who's written the note has to have provided some kind of specific statement about your teaching and what it does.